have a conversation, you and me. Tell me your traumas and I'll tell you mine. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Cut the Calorie. So, as always, this is a place where we talk about nutrition, fitness, overall wellness, and we dive into a lot of mental aspects as well. So, as always, I'm your host, Janki Karnik. I'm a professional chef and I'm also a certified nutrition coach. So, like I always say in the beginning of my videos, we dive into mental aspects as well. So, that's exactly what this video is going to be about. So, it's going to be a little bit of a raw, unfiltered chat. So, I hope you sit down, grab a cup of coffee or a snack, grab your friends, and let's just talk. Firstly, I just wanted to share a little bit of my own journey and how I started. So, growing up, I was always the heavier one or the chubbier one, and I often felt like insecure as compared to my friends or my peers. But there was never an outlet or there was never someone I could share it with. As an adult now, I feel much more confident to express these things. But often as a child, we don't have anyone to go and share these things or these thoughts with. So you're pretty much left alone or you feel isolated in your own world, and that can be really demotivating. So some things I often struggled with was, of course, comments from people saying I'm overweight and other comments. I think a lot of people face these same issues. But what I mostly faced was, I didn't know at the time, was my, I would not say binge eating because this is a very serious term, but of course there was a lot of emotional eating and disordered eating. I say that lightly because there's a lot of severe cases out there. But there was a lot of shame attached with food, and this led to, of course, hiding my food and eating, and then not feeling too confident about eating in front of people, thinking about how they would judge me about how much I'm eating, my appetite, everything like that. It was very like embarrassing, shameful, and there was a lot of like negative emotions affected around food and my relationship with food. Fast forward after a couple of years, and actually now after all of these years, I've finally trained my mind to um break these patterns, and that takes a lot of hard work, and we'll dive into that as well. So, some of the most common struggles I've seen on a daily basis, what I've heard from my friends, my clients, is the number one thing about motivation. So, let's dive a little bit deep about that and discuss what is motivation, why a lot of us struggle with motivation, and why we struggle with being consistent and just going about the journey and not being able to complete it. So, like I said, everyone struggles with motivation, but honestly, you should know by now that motivation is not something you should rely on because motivation is a facade. It always comes and it goes immediately. So you always, I especially used to struggle with this a lot, where I always felt motivated at the start of the week or start of the month where I took up a new challenge. And the first initial week or so, I would be going good. I would be doing everything right. And then slowly it fades off, or slowly something happens, life comes in the way, and suddenly I'm back to square one. And this continuous loop of starting over and over again, it's a vicious cycle which a lot of people struggle with as well. Another thing a lot of people struggle with and are bothered by is that wherever you are right now, whoever you think you are right now, and it's something that you're trying to change, is very ingrained into your self identity or your self belief, and you actually think these thoughts about yourself. So these are so ingrained that even if you're trying to change something about yourself, it always comes up because you always tend to go back to your old default settings, if that's what you want to call it. And it's something you need to work on every single day and actually find a whole new identity to actually make a transformative change. Because if you don't change your self identity or self beliefs, you're always going to go back to the same old habits, same old lifestyle, and you're going to see that you're doing the same thing as before and never see any progress. Another huge thing that a lot of people and myself to the day struggle with a little bit is societal pressures, whether it's from your family, friends, that can be a very harming thing, or just what you see on social media. All of these things really impact how you look at yourself, your insecurities, because all of these things really enhance your insecurities in a way and can really impact how you go about your journey. If suppose I decide that, okay, from Monday I'm going to start this new diet, and there's someone constantly criticizing me, saying that, what are you doing? This doesn't work. Please just join us. It's all very, first of all, you're trying to surpass the friction of just breaking your own habits, and then you have this additional friction of telling people no, and saying no is another biggest skill which I've learned and has been the most helpful in my journey. So before we move on to what we can do to help you achieve and stay motivated on all the actions you can take, leave your comments down below. Tell me some of your struggles. Let's have an open conversation about this, because I know for me at least, I would have loved to have someone growing up where I could share my struggles with and actually open up about my insecurities and not feel so alone in this. So do leave your comments down below, share your thoughts, and let's openly have a discussion about this. All right, so now that we've discussed some struggles and some hardships about the nutrition fitness journey, let's actually talk about what you can do to overcome these and what has helped me personally to overcome these. So now I know the first one is going to sound a little bit like probably not that important, but trust me, this was the most important thing I did, and it is spending time by myself. So the more time I spend by myself, how much time I spent alone with my thoughts and actually getting to know myself, I knew what were my insecurities, I knew who I was, and I suddenly felt more confident and secure in my body. So even when someone commented on me or said something which was a little offending or anything like that, it didn't hit me as much because I was secure as a person, because I knew what my weaknesses was, what my strengths were, and I didn't need anyone telling me otherwise. So I encourage any one of you, all of y'all, to at least spend 5 minutes of the day just sitting by yourself, either journaling, meditation, breathing, or just sitting completely by yourself, asking yourself difficult questions, really getting to know yourself. What are your weaknesses? What are your hardships? What are your insecurities? What are the things you feel down about, and how you can overcome these? So just get to know yourself more, and the less insecure you're going to feel about yourself. The second thing I did was stop the perfectionism mindset or the all or nothing mindset. So I took it day by day, where I was really living in the present, and I broke it down saying that what is the best I can do just today to make sure that I feel accomplished or at least one step closer to my goals. So if this means just breaking it down to the bare minimum what you could do for the day, for example, if you had to go to the gym but you're really struggling, all you could do is say, let's just break this down. What is the simplest thing I could do which brings me closer to that goal? Is it just putting on your shoes? Is it just putting on your shoes and going down? Or is it just changing your outfit? Or is it just doing 10 push-ups at home? Whatever it is, trust me, you're going to feel so much better. And once you cross that initial inertia, trust me, you're going to do the entire task. So that's a very good hack I learned, is just by breaking down it to the simplest form. And once you do that, trust me, you're going to do the rest of it. The last one I would like to share is that find someone you trust. Trust me, of course, you can do this by yourself, 110%. But trust me, it gets a lot easier if you find someone you trust who can push you in the correct direction, who can tell you when you're going off track, and who can do this with a lot of care and a lot of love, so that you're always supported and always pushing you in the right direction. I did that with my best friend. If you want to go and check out our channel, it's called Straight Up Friends. We discuss a lot about these aspects. We talk about our own nutrition and fitness journey, so you can check that out as well. I'll leave it in the description. But trust me, finding someone who can support you is going to be a game changer. For me, I found my own coach who was also my mentor. I'll leave his link in the description as well. But you can definitely invest in a coach or a fitness trainer, or just find your best friend or someone you really trust who can really help you along the way. And trust me, this is going to be a huge deal breaker. Of course, if you want me to be this person for you, I would really love to do that. You can find the details about my website and everything and how you can work with me in the description below as always. So do feel free to contact me if you would want to work with me as well. Alright, so that's the end of the video. That's all I have for you today. I really hope you found some value in this, big or small, as always. And I really hope that we can discuss more aspects about mental health, well-being, and all of these things more openly. And so none of us feel alone, and let's all support each other. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, leave your comments, likes, follow, share, subscribe, you know, all the good stuff. So do that. Please share it with your friends, family, because I feel like this video was a really important one, and we should share this as much as we can. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.